This year says Dan. Chelsea needs 7 goalkeepers because they're bang average defense. I think post this Sunday's game, Maresca might start playing 3 goalkeepers. How do you think you're going to get on against them this weekend? Like, I know you said you don't think you'll win. Is that because you think you're jinxing it, or do you think you could dismantle them like you did in pre-season?
Well, I've put Chelsea on this stream, and now we play them. So that's life in it. Karma's going to get me on Saturday. I don't know, man. Like, obviously, I've only watched Chelsea once in pre-season when they played City. I didn't think they'd be very good, to be honest with you. But we're probably going to have no Rodri, no Foden available. I'm sure they'll have their own issues. I don't know, man. I'm semi-confident we can get a result, but Chelsea did quite well against us last year. I know it's a new manager, and the way that he plays probably will suit City a little bit more than the way Pochettino set up his team. But I don't know. I feel like the first couple of weeks until the teams get flowing, you never really know. I think early doors is probably where you want to play City. You want to play City early on before we get into our stride. I mean, Rodri's not going to be available, so great news for Chelsea there. So I don't know, man. I'm semi confident we'll get the win just because we'll still put out a mint team, but it's early doors. We're not flowing, so we'll see, man. Not
Is
mad.
it at Stamford Bridge?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes it. How do you see it going, Dan? Do you think Chelsea could sort of shock a few people and pick up a really big opening day win against the current champions?
No, I don't. I think Manchester City will win. But Chelsea do turn up against the bigger sides. It's mad. Chelsea had this weird thing last season of being terrible against Burnley and terrible against Sheffield United and laughable against teams in the bottom half. But then they come up against Arsenal at the Bridge and they give us a game. To be fair, we were absolutely terrible that day, to be honest. I mean, they still didn't beat us. But obviously they give Manchester City problems. They give Tottenham problems. So for me, they have a chance because they have that kind of bit about them. It's the first game. There'll be a lot to prove. Maresca will want to obviously do well against Pep. So I can imagine they'll go all out. But I just think the quality will shine through. And I think Manchester City will win. I think they've got the better 11. And I think that they, for me, even without Alvarez, are still favourites at the moment to win the league. So I expect them to beat Chelsea fairly comfortably, to be honest. But anything can happen in football, Terry, as they say. But Chelsea, nah, I ain't seen enough at the moment, if I'm honest. And apparently in pre-season, not that I've seen any of it, they've been shambolic defensively. So I imagine Haaland could have potentially a field day if they play like that.
He potentially could. If they, I mean, they didn't really make the mistakes against Inter, but they were still in the first half fairly easy to play through. But it was the abundance of mistakes in preseason, especially against. I stayed up and watched the City game, and it was just they do that in the Premier League. They'll get taken apart. How confident are you about the start of your season, though, LB? You've signed obviously Salvio or Salvinio, as we're calling him now. No other deals as of yet. Are you confident about retaining your title?
I think if Rodri stays fit, I think we'll win the league. I think it's that important to us. I don't think Arsenal have done quite enough for me in the window. Seems to be the same say the same thing about Arsenal every year. I think they always need that extra guy. Last year I felt they need that extra player. This year, I feel like they might need one more, or maybe even 2 more, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm still pretty confident we'll win the league. And I think our squad's decent. We've got a lot of midfielders, but if Rodri gets an injury that takes him out for more than a month, I think that could be an issue depending on who we play, man. But if I'm being honest with you, mate, like we got Pep Guardiola, like we've still got a mint team. Even if we don't buy another player, I don't think we'll sign a single player now. I think we're done. Even if we don't sign another player, I still expect us to win the league with the squad that we've got. So yeah, I'm pretty confident. Don't think Arsenal have done enough, and I don't think there's anyone else in this league that is close to City or Arsenal right now. So I think it'll be down to us two again. I think if Arsenal get themselves in front and don't win the league, I think that's when you've got to have serious questions about Arsenal's mentality issues. You know what I mean? If they get themselves in front again. So it will be interesting to see. Of course, there's a couple more games in the Champions League. There's 8 matches now instead of 6 in the group stage. That'll put extra strain on the squads. I think Arteta's under pressure as well to win a domestic cup in case he doesn't win the Prem or the Champions League. If he takes those seriously, that could put Arsenal's squad under pressure, man. So I don't know. I think the questions for me, all the questions and all the pressure is all on Arsenal now. because at the end of the day, City have done their business. City have won the 4P. We've won the Prem. We've won the Champions League. Arsenal still haven't won a Champions League in their history. They've still not won any major trophy under Arteta other than that FA Cup early doors. All the pressure and all the expectation has to be on Arsenal. It's got to be Arsenal's year, man. If it's not, it's got to go. Simple.
Do you feel that way, Potsy? Do you feel like the pressure is on you guys this season to go and win those major trophies?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Of course, there should be. This is Arsenal Football Club. There should be more of a demand. We should 100% be winning trophies. He's got to win silverware this season. And people might laugh and go, what, a Carabao Cup? Yeah. What's funny about that? What's bad about winning a League Cup? What's bad about winning a trophy? Are people really going to tell me they'd be like, I don't really want that trophy. Don't fancy that FA Cup. That's a bit of a waste of time, isn't it? That just gets in the way. That League Cup, over by February? No, thank you. Just concentrate on the big ones. No, man, come on. You got to go and get the domestic cups, in my opinion. We've got to take them seriously. So for me, I think this we can't beat Pep nonsense is bullshit. And I've always said it's bullshit because he won one at the 4 trophy last year. So he was beaten by 3 managers last year, right? He was beaten by Ten Hag, somehow. He was beaten by Real Madrid. And who did you lose to in the League Cup, LB? Was it Newcastle?
Mm-hmm.
So you're beaten by Eddie Howe. So Arteta's got to go and get one over him, right? That's the way I see it. Now, I don't think we have to win the league, personally, because I still think Manchester City are better than us. So I don't think we have to win the league. He needs to win a trophy, though, because he needs to show the fan base and all the rivals and all the media that he can win with this team that he has spent £600 million on now. He's got to go and deliver with this team. And for me, there should be pressure on Arsenal. Because if we come second and we trophyless again, and the narrative is, meh, Pep's here, I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. I ain't buying that. So I agree with LB, we haven't done enough yet. In fact, I think the window has been a shambles, if I'm honest, so far from Arsenal. Bringing in another left back, which to be fair, I think is a good player, but it's not something that everyone's now looking at going, oh, that's sorted. That's them done. Then they're going to win the league. Now, we might not get to that stage. We might get to the end of the window and people might think we ain't really done enough. But for me, we need a winger, a striker and a midfielder to come in the next 18 days, is it? Or whatever it is left of this window. So for me, I think those 3 signings have got to come in the door. Now,
why do you think why has there been a delay on the Merino deal? Because what are you hearing as an Arsenal fan? What are you reading? What's being said in your kind of forums and spaces?
Yeah, this one's mad because Romano's put out recycled tweets saying it's close, it's really close, it's closer, it's really closer for about 3 or 4 days now. And I don't know what has been agreed in terms of us bidding for him. Some are suggesting that it's as little as 17 million. Some are suggesting it's around 25 to 30 million. This one has to get done. The rumor I did hear, and I don't know how true this is that Real Sociedad owe Merino something like 5 million euros, and they are asking Arsenal to pay that on top of the transfer fee that they want. So that's why there's negotiation and it's stalling again. But let's be real, if we really want this player, and that's what the price is, we're going to have to pay it. Now, it's not very fair that we have to pay that if that is the case. That's what I'm hearing, and that's why it's stalling. But let's be real. We are slow. We are slow. And at the moment, we're trying to muck around with Eddie Nketiah when I would have accepted 27 million from Marseille. And then Arsenal fans go, no, the accountants go up in arms. That is horrendous. So-and-so went for 32 million. How can you say Eddie? Because Eddie's not actually that good. Yeah, let's just be real. Eddie Nketiah would not get into any of the top 6 sides. He'd be pretty good for Bournemouth. He'd probably be all right for Brentford.
So can I just quickly come in there as well, Potts? Is it not just better, when you've got a play like that, is it not just better to get rid of them?
I think so, bro.
You might take a couple million hits. Some Arsenal fans are saying he's worth this, he's worth that. But at the end of the day, if the difference is like 5 million for a massive club like Arsenal, is it not better just to say, right, okay, well, we think he's worth that, but you're not going to pay it, so we'll just agree that he's gone, wages off the books, we've got the cash in the bank, let's go spend the money. Is that not a better way to do it?
I think so, bruv. And Smith Rowe went for 27 million with some add-ons. If Eddie Nketiah is 24 million pounds, someone coming in, let's be real. Like, it needs to be just done. We need to be... Nobody is paying 45 million pounds for Eddie Nketiah, right? I think he will go somewhere, I don't know where, roughly between 25 and 30 million or something. But let's not hold on and hold on and hold on. And we get to the end of the window and we go, Eddie, 30 million, it's done. Who are we getting then? Nothing. It shuts tomorrow. Oh, well, at least we sold Eddie. Now we've got no striker. Brilliant. Let's go ahead. Let's go and get this done, man. We need to get these players in the door. We kick off in 3 days, don't we? 4 days. Let's just get this done, man. Because for me, we've still got Reece Nelson. Leicester were very interested in him. We said we want 25 million. They said nearer 15 for us. Okay, we're not selling him then. Can't you just negotiate a bit and go, look, okay, can we push it to 20? Not really, man. We want this. And you get the deal done, compromise. Nelson wants to go. The idea for Arteta was, I want to put these two lads on 100k a week so we sort out their value instead of letting them go for free. How's that working out? We can't sell them because they're on 100k a week. Nobody can afford them in this PSR. So that hasn't worked out well, has it? Because we're going to have to sell them for lower value anyway because no one can afford them. So I think, personally, just get them done. And there's so many Arsenal accountants. Oh my God, you'd be selling the whole team for a Kit Kat chunky the way you're going on. No, we're talking about a couple of £1 million here for players. Yeah, we're trying to hold out to get £2 million more for Eddie Nketiah when we could just sell him and Nelson to Leicester and to Marseille or Bournemouth, whoever it be, and then go and get the striker we need, go and get the winger we need, because they both need replacing, Nelson and Eddie. Because on our bench at the moment, Reece Nelson and Eddie are still on it. We need to go and get a winger and a striker that replaces them two, and we still need a midfielder who can play in the 8, which I believe will be Merino. If we go and sign Calafiori, Merino, and let's just pick 2 players, Eze and Victor Gyökeres, I know damn sight well that Man City will be looking, going, bloody hell, I wish they kept Nelson and Eddie. And we might actually keep Nelson and Eddie because we're mucking around so much. So this needs to be done in the next couple of weeks, man, because if we keep hold of Nelson and Eddie again, it's going to just be bang average season again, man, because we need someone to take us across the line. We 100% do. We need a moments player. And I don't think Havertz and Jesus are their moments players. I think they're good, definitely part of the squad, 100%. Keep them, don't sell them. But we need that striker. We need that killer. We need that little bit of spark that can come on and give Saka some breather space. And we definitely need an 8 because at the moment we've only got Rice in there and that's it. So if we get them players on top of Calafiori, I think personally we've got a great chance of going for the league, 100%. But if we don't and we sit still, Man City are going to walk it. That's my opinion.
This is just selfish of Eddie still being here, knowing he's not going to score more. I mean, Eddie agreed the terms with Marseille. You can't blame Eddie and Nketiah for this. It's not Eddie's fault at all. Come on now. Like, wise up. Of course, there's pressure, but LB talking shit about sacking Arteta. We needed LB. We don't think we'll be disappointed at the end of the window.
So you wouldn't. So if you went another season without winning a single trophy, you'd keep him again. I think that's absolutely insane. I do, Jace, mate. Respect your opinion, bro, but like, you've for me. In a non-patronising way, you've got to start seeing Arsenal as the club. Arsenal are not here to hold Arteta's hand and, we're here to develop Arteta and we'll help Arteta grow. No. Arsenal are a huge football club with a huge history, yeah, and loads of fans all around the world. You shouldn't be waiting until Arteta gets it right. If he doesn't get it right, sorry, bro, adios. It's time to move on to someone who can get it right. He spent over 700 million quid. He's built a good team. But ultimately, if he doesn't win a trophy again this year, what's Arsenal's purpose? Is their purpose just to challenge? Is their purpose just to get Champions League? And ironically, go back into the position that Arsenal were in under Wenger for a long period, where it was just like, just get the Champions League money, finish 4th, and everyone's happy. There's no difference between finishing 4th and 2nd. You don't get a trophy for finishing 2nd. You don't get one for finishing 4th. You both get the same thing, qualification for the Champions League. I say you should sack Arteta if you don't win anything. If you win something, I'm not saying sack him. If you don't win anything, the reason I say that is because I think you've got a great team with great players, and I think this team should be winning silverware. I don't say it because I don't want you to compete. I say it because I genuinely believe it. Arsenal are a mint team, and there are managers out there that could potentially take Arsenal a step up.
TNT says, I'm with LB on this one. With how much Atletico are asking for João Felix, in which Chelsea isn't trying to pay, we could go and find a top-level centre back. Yeah, they're talking 60-odd million euros for João Felix. So you are right. You could probably go out and get a very good centre. Branthwaite would probably be available for somewhere in that region right now.
They're going to get him and Osimhen then. They're going to get Osimhen and Felix.
The talk is now, Chelsea are briefing the media saying they're looking at both. They were saying they were looking at both when they wanted Amarodian. I think this is a real turning point for Chelsea and their owners in terms of relationship. Because say they land Felix and then just don't go anywhere near Osimhen, they're gonna know. You just kept telling us, Osimhen, so we were happier about the other deals, thinking that was coming at the end of the window. I think they've got to go and land someone like that, really. This Alex here says you can't complain about the way you sell like you do, but complain about not accepting lower bids than the valuation perception, and then selling, and then a selling culture needed.
So what we do then is we just say, anyone want Eddie for 40 million? Still nobody. Anyone want Eddie for 40 million? Still nobody. He's 41 now. Anyone's want Eddie for 40 million? Come on, man. You've got to sell the player for the right price. He's clearly not worth what we're asking, is he? Nobody is. Would any of you guys think £30 million is a good signing? Do you honestly believe anyone signing Eddie Nketiah in the Premier League? Let's just say Bournemouth signing him. Do you think, cool, I'll tell you what, that takes them up a level. He's better than Solanke. He's definitely the one they want. You don't. Come on, man. You just got to be real. I don't get this. They hate it, Arsenal fans. They want us to be. He's rubbish, Eddie Nketiah. He's not good enough. I can't believe no one's offering 45 million for him. Well, you said he's not good enough. What one is it? I don't get it, man.
Rooney in here says a dismantling happened before Clear Lake when the club got a 2-window ban. They had a rebuilding a mess and started a system that can be sustained. Thank you. Joshua Jack says the fact that Fulham are about to spend 25 million on Anderson from Palace basically confirms Scott is staying. Well, they're not the same position. So maybe, Terry, I know you want him gone. We'll see what happens with that, my friend. Wayne here says the same fans who say take anything for Eddie are the same one who complain about Arsenal are bad at selling. Why can't we sell our players like Chelsea is what they say. Look, I think Dan's kind of already answered that already, but it's a fair challenge to him. Look, we are ending the show a little bit earlier than normal just because I've got to go pick up my son from his last day at nursery today. So I've got to go and pick him up and say goodbye to his teachers and do that parent stuff, grown up shit. Boys.